What's good, y'all? Let's talk about that intro. Shot entirely on the iPhone 12 Pro Max with an anamorphic lens and a film rig. And before we go any further, I already know my voice sounds crazy. I got a stuffy nose, my throat is sore. Y'all know how I get around holidays and winter. I'm not feeling that well, so I just gotta bear with my voice. Aside from that though, I know this isn't a new conversation, but smartphone cameras are continuously getting so good. And when you have companies that design smartphone camera accessories that mitigate the limitations of smartphone cameras, you honestly have to ask yourself, do I really need a dedicated camera, or is my smartphone enough? And then when you factor in platforms that encourage you to create with your smartphones, Instagram TV, IG Reels, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, OG YouTube, it only becomes more evident why these are becoming such crucial tools to create content with. But y'all don't care about my lecture, right? Y'all ain't clicked this video for that. Let's talk about the accessories, but we gotta shout out SandMarc first. SandMarc reached out to me, basically sent me these products, so no, they have not paid me. This is not a sponsorship. Everything that I say is my genuine thoughts and experiences using these products, so yeah. Alright, so let me explain what an anamorphic lens is. Please bear with me. I usually try to stay as simple as possible and not get into the nitty gritty, but I kind of have to explain what these things are so y'all know what y'all getting into, so bear with me. Basically, this lens allows your footage to look more cinematic. Yeah, I know those black bars that you see at the top and the bottom when you go to the movies? Yeah, it basically gives you that look. But there's a few more characteristics that makes this lens very unique. The first, it captures video in a very, very wide aspect ratio. SandMarc makes two types of anamorphic lens, a 1.33x anamorphic lens and a 1.55x anamorphic lens, which is the one that I have. And this lens captures video in a 120-degree field of view, which for context is the same field of view of both the iPhone 13 Pro Max and Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra's ultra-wide cameras. It's literally the same field of view. The second thing that makes this lens unique are lens flares. While filming, you'll notice streaks of light coming from light sources like traffic signs and all those type of lights when you're filming. And that just helps give your film or your footage a more cinematic kind of look. So the combo of the ultra-wide aspect ratio, the lens flares, and the shape of the bokeh can help elevate your look to a more aesthetically pleasing or cinematic kind of style. But it ain't that simple. I said y'all gotta bear with me because I gotta get into the nitty-gritty details so y'all know exactly what y'all getting into. Filming and editing with an anamorphic lens does require a little bit, it's not a lot, but it does require a little bit of work. Because the aspect ratio of your footage is so wide, if you use, say, the native camera app in your smartphone and you look at it and play it back, it's gonna look kind of squeezed. It's gonna look compressed. Because of this, you need to do one of two things. You'll need to de-squeeze the footage in post when you're editing. And de-squeezing ain't that hard. I'm gonna show you how to do that right here. As you can see, it looks pretty compressed on the timeline. So what you're gonna do is right-click the video, go to attributes. And under attributes, you'll see there are a few selections. Right now it's on square, and there is an option for anamorphic lens. But at least on the free version of DaVinci Resolve, they only have 1.3. So we're gonna have to click 1.5. That isn't anamorphic though. So to have your footage take up the whole screen, what you're gonna have to do is manually zoom in so it can stretch out. The second thing you'll need to do, which I think is way easier and it'll save you time when you're editing in post, is to download a third-party camera app like Filmic Pro. You can de-squeeze in the app and have a live feed of exactly how your footage is gonna look, which is gonna make filming a lot easier. Alright, so now that the business is out of the way and you know what an anamorphic lens is, you know how to film with it, and you also know how to edit, Let me show y'all a sequence that I put together that demonstrates what you can capture with this lens. Let's check it out. Now, honestly, this lens is dope as hell. And it just adds another layer of creativity and versatility to you as a creator. But with anything, there are some cons, there are some limitations, and in my opinion, they're not deal breakers, but you should definitely know about them. The first, because this lens is so freaking wide, it does introduce some distortion around the edges. And you also get some fringing and chromatic aberration around the edges as well. You'll notice it more in low light than you will in daylight, but it's still there. But if you ask me, that's not a deal breaker because that's just a characteristic of ultra wide lenses. But honestly, the lens is dope, and I just think you as a creator could just add different type of flavors to your repertoire. Do something different, which is what I was trying to do with this lens. It's not easy filming with a lens this wide. You kind of have to get creative and be very intentional with the kind of shots you want to get. But that's what pushes us to be great when you have to sit down, plan, and it helps elevate our content. So these are fantastic tools. So I want to know what y'all think in the comments. If you're new to my channel, my name is D-Dames, and I make videos about tech and lifestyle. If you like those things, make sure you like this video, show some love here first, and then subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys stay warm, stay blessed, and I'll catch you on the next one. Deuce.